Hey Collective, it's Al and welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a weekend download kind of update, and it's going to be a little bit of a layered one, so let me walk you through this. So essentially what it was I was sleeping as usual when some of these things come in. I was taking a nap, and I actually woke up in my dream as Tawny Madison from Galaxy Quest. And I thought that was really funny. So if you ever think that the divine doesn't have a really great sense of humor, source, Allah, whatever you call it, that's what I woke up with boobs. And it was still my face. And I had the blonde. It was the most bizarre dream. But anyway, the point was that I was reading basically the minutes to the commander. And it was a pretty amusing conversation. But what it indicated was what it was that I was reading was the main point. And so essentially what had happened is that we were going through a situation where there is going to be a massive wave of karma that goes out over the course of the weekend into this next little part right here. And so I wanted to speak to what it is to be a spiritual warrior and what it is to be someone who walks in divinity. And one of the things that I was looking at in the dream as Tani, as I was reporting to the commander, that one of the things that we're encountering is that within the ranks of the divine army, if you will, people who walk with a higher purpose, there seems to be a jealousy streak that's stretching throughout, where people are looking at other people who have different talents that they do or have different connections to source. And so one of the things that's breeding is that it's actually diminishing your capability, and it's actually having things removed from you, gifts that were meant for you. So imagine, if you will, that you are successful to some degree and you have an audience, right? But what you don't know is that you're supposed to have triple that audience. But because of something that we are actively engaging in that is bringing our vibration down, the jealousy bit, we're actually diminishing the ability for us to raise the vibration as a collective. So as leaders, one of the things that we have to do, whether you're a spiritual person or in the turquoise leadership or just a leader in our world right now, is you have to understand that whatever this is about, whether you believe it is Earth just itself, that you're just a living human being, or if you believe it's a simulation, or if you believe it's a game, whatever is happening involves us working as teammates. And so one of the biggest sacrifices that we must make is ego. So what I was reporting to the commander is I was reading off essentially what were the biggest defaults or biggest issues that people were having, and the first thing was this jealousy bit. So the way that it was phrased to me when I got the download, that when I woke up and I was like, okay, was when you look at someone else and you wonder why they're succeeding or more gifted or more this or more that, you're forgetting the fact that you are equally gifted in something. But by looking at someone else and coveting what they have, you are diminishing your ability to receive your gift. So the advice here, especially going into this weekend with this huge karmic wave that's going out, is to stop worrying about what other people are doing or saying. Your task is specific to your domain, to your house. There are some leaders who have multiple houses under them. I represent a lot of innocence, specifically children, gay people, and women, all about equality, all about raising that vibration. That is where my passion lies. I'm here to reignite the heart of humanity and remind humanity that they are one, that they have everything that they need. So I don't necessarily always abide by Catholicism. I don't always go 100% with Judaism. I don't always go with the occult. The occult is the one that I know the least about, but that's not because I have an issue with it. I don't judge it. It's just that other than esoteric theosophy, I haven't really gone into it. And so what I'm saying, though, is that because of that, people seem to have this impression that I am not speaking on behalf of something higher than me. But you have to understand that if your task is to represent the Word of God through Catholicism or through evangelical preaching or through whatever domain you come from, or if you believe in Allah and Islam, all of you have that focal point. So instead of looking at other people and what they're doing or saying, understand that if you're on the same vibration, then you should be trusting the divine universe and knowing that they are there for a reason. I have a situation, or recently I had a situation, where someone decided to say that I was practicing voodoo, and it was because they thought, just because I was from Louisiana, that that's something I would do. First of all, never. I don't do that. I walk in light. I don't walk in darkness. And one of the interesting things is the way that they manipulated the person is by telling them that I practice voodoo and that I must be casting spells. And immediately, my guides told me what was going on. I said, okay, well, that's not my karma, and I let it go. What I didn't realize is that this individual then went ahead and said, well, let me take care of this. I know how to counter it. And they actively cast voodoo against me, and the person that was attached to them unknowingly, karmically became indebted in that situation because they allowed the person to manipulate them into believing that someone that walks in light is capable or would even bother to look like, why would I do that? But they did. And so what ended up happening is, on their behalf, they cast a spell against me in voodoo. And I knew it immediately because I know what voodoo feels like. I'm from New Orleans and I know better. But it doesn't mean that I haven't had it happen before. And so the thing that I wanted to relay to you guys is that when that happened, it essentially was something that I didn't know. I don't even know this individual, to be quite honest with you. The masculine in the equation, somehow I'm involved in something that I can't see just yet. And without going too much into it, it was my reaction that they want me to share with you, and that's the download I got. I didn't fight fire with fire. And here's what I mean. I truly believe in a higher power, whatever that it could be. I call it the great architect. You call it God, Allah, whatever it is. And so I trust that I am safe at all times. And guess what happened? It immediately ricocheted. Why? Because I believe in God. I believe in something higher than myself. So when you sit there and allow people to manipulate you into believing that someone is bad when there is no bad or good, the battle that's raging is over your mind. So understand that we are in a state of what they call in the lower vibration religious wars, and there are high vibrational people that are leading you and trying to tell you all, focus on the Word of God, focus on the Bible, and find the truth and decipher it through that. But people who are speaking to different things may have different tasks than you are. So the Divine specifically asked me to remind everybody that you are working as a team. Any type of behavior like this is not acceptable, and it makes you fall. That is why some of the people that have been warning us, I don't remember her name, but she's amazing. She speaks the Word of God. And she had mentioned that there was someone who was doing something similar to her. The interesting part is that we all are going through these tests. It's an indication that they are on your vibration. So instead of looking at someone else and judging them or feeling like they're doing something wrong against you, understand the bigger question is, why are you letting them reach you? It didn't even hit me. I just felt the energy signature of it and immediately ricocheted. And that's when my guide said, you need to say something. So, but I didn't combat it. And here's why, is because I just, in my field, and this is something powerful that you all should probably consider. I just tell the universe, I go, I don't accept negative energy from anyone, even people that I love and adore. I alchemize it into my sphere, into positivity, and I propel myself forward. Anything that's sent to me with voodoo or hoodoo or whatever the dark magic is, just send it back to the person with a thank you. And that's all I do. And it does not touch me. That is one of the biggest lessons that we must all learn. Now, having said that, if you are in God's house right now, then you believe in the devil. And the devil is sending a part of the wave that's coming out. So, if you are a divine being, what I'm supposed to remind you is this. The people that are affected by the karmic wave that's coming back out, pay attention to the severity and the level of the karma that they receive. Meaning, don't judge them. But if you, let's say, have a little bit, like I might get like a boo-boo on my elbow because I hit the wall. That's my karmic blast from this. But someone else around you might end up getting into a car accident for whatever. I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but I'm using that as an example. You immediately, as a white light person, should probably go, wait a minute. Why is this person having such a karmic blast? And it's not that you're judging them. It's to be aware that their karma may be a little bit more severe than your karma. And your question then becomes, well, do I want to be in alliance with someone who has such a severe karmic debt? You don't want to just disconnect from people from that, but I'm saying be aware of other people's energy, because it's the same thing that I had mentioned in the past about the trickster. The trickster energy is part of temperance. Temperance is the balancer. It's a feminine divine energy that brings balance to our world. Its brother, its masculine counterpart, is the trickster. Now, to a lower vibrational person, the trickster is something that will screw them over and make them expose themselves in one way or another. This is kind of the next level up, right? But from that, what you want to know is, as a white light being, as a high vibrational person, the trickster becomes one of your best friends, because it will indicate exactly who is a snake in the grass, because a lot of us have snakes in the grass around us, and it's very clear we're starting to feel like a really strange vibrational pull with it, and we're just trying to find our way around it, and that's one of the indications. So when this karmic blast goes out over the weekend, just be conscious of the severity of the people around you, and just notice how, if your life is going up and you are on this karmic wheel with us and you're moving upwards, then notice who's going down. Right? Understand that there's polarity in our world. So you don't want to judge them, but you want to be conscious of the fact that the divine is showing you something. There was a wonderfully gifted person that I saw. It was on my Magic YouTube today. Her name is, I wrote it down, Latoya Okoya, and she speaks the word, right? She's a really gifted person, and I had never really met her before, but I saw her work come across my thing. And the interesting part is that she was speaking about value. And the only reason I'm bringing this up is because when we, as white light beings, are moving upwards, people who are part of the divine universe of God, of love and compassion and of unity, as we move up, we have to navigate things that other people may not understand. But it doesn't mean we always have the easy road. In fact, a lot of us will be challenged so that we can decipher who is of good and who's of negative energy, right? So when you, and the reason I'm bringing her up is because when you encounter a no, then why not interpret that as a high vibrational person, as that was not meant for you? You don't have to automatically think that they are someone who is a negative being, but you can just understand that it was a negative situation possibly for you. And so one of the great points that she made, and I think she's incredibly gifted, was that she said that I didn't want them to see your value. That's really important. So as we go through this, understand that your value is so important that sometimes you are protected. But sometimes it comes a point when you're going to be tasked with stepping out into the light, and you have to be able to hold your own. So with the jealousy bit, you're letting the devil into your house, is what I'm saying. Because what ends up happening is it undermines your ability to trust the divine, because you're questioning the divine and putting that person in your vibrational energy. If you are a high vibrational person, then you should have no situation where there's anything really that can tackle you. Now, you're going to have controversy. Look at all of the pioneers that are really religious. Look at Jesus, look at Mary Magdalene, look at all of them. They all went through persecution, or they overcame obstacle. But if we focus our energy, which is something Aaron was talking about on his channel, if you focus your energy on what's going wrong, then what are you doing? You are causing the law of attraction to bring that wrongness into your life. That's where your energy shield is based. So we, as individuals that are high vibrational beings, must understand that when we undermine ourselves by questioning the people around us that we hear the truth from, but we don't always agree with, and that automatically makes us become envious or whatnot, then you're undermining and you're questioning something higher. So then how is the connection truly made between you and something higher? Okay, so then the person who actually cast the voodoo spell against me, notice that there's no reaction, it didn't touch me, and the greatest part of it is that I didn't have to do anything because I do walk in light. And so immediately it just got returned to sender. So here's the thing. For whoever this person is, because I don't know your name, I didn't ask the details of it, I don't deal with low vibrational people, it's not you, it's someone in your vicinity. I just would say this. You're going to see them receive from the cosmos a karmic blast for their actions towards me. Now, I have nothing to do with it. I'm just supposed to tell you that because you are a divine being. Does that make sense? So it's letting you know through me that though we received the message, your name was attached to the message. They made it seem like I was doing something to you to manipulate you. Meanwhile, they used you to come at me. It's a very nasty game that these individuals are playing, so be aware that they are exceedingly manipulative and really, really dark. But here's the thing. If you walk in divine light and you know in your bone that you are safe, there's nothing for the devil to hang on to. It immediately just goes, and you look at it and you go, oh, it's another Monday. What am I going to do? Flower picking? Yeah, like whatever it takes. I'm really silly about it because it helps my vibration stay consistently higher. That's why I said in a recent post, I posted about the fact that when you see in a naive person, you have to understand that sometimes the naivete is a high vibrational pull that makes them go into a space where they are untouchable. So while you, or not you, but people in general, get lower vibrational pull and they get into these combative situations, which are needed in war or in religious war. Like when you are defending your people, then that's when you fight. But remember that part of the test that we are going through as divine beings is that we have to understand what is worth to fight and what is not worth the fight. If someone is casting a spell and you know that you are strong enough, then do not react to that person. But if they are casting spells against innocent people that you represent or that you are leading, then that's when you take it on, right? But that's my personal opinion. Then there's the fact that we are now working in partnerships. We are actually being pulled into groupings, and leaderships are being formed in different areas. Understand that everyone has their strength and everybody has weaknesses, but with the combination of the two, it will balance the energy so that they are solid. So as we go into this wave that's about to hit, you're going to see a lot of revealing things. Some of them may be directed towards you. You may understand that people were talking shit, or that they thought really shitty of you, all of that stuff. To you, that makes no difference. Remember, you are letting go of the past, and the test in this case is to acknowledge it and release the karma with it. Let me put the light on, hold on. So this is where I talk about the karmic. Then I put the light on. So when it comes to karma, one of the things you have to understand is that it's an energetic signature that deals with cause and effect, how you interact with the environment around you, how you interact with people around you. And so when you are dealing with karma, any type of influence that you spread outward that's negative towards someone else, whether you feel justified or not, has consequences to it. Because technically, we all stand alone in this world. But when you're coming into these partnerships, some of you are going to be suddenly attacked by people you don't understand why they're attacking you, because the other person already has identified you as their person, and they may not have yet stepped forward. So your task is to just do what you can to just go, okay, well, I knew this was coming. It comes with the territory. These are very powerful people that we are all becoming. And if you're not already there, you're about to, and you're about to skyrocket. So when you do that, understand that you don't get mad at your partner for the energy that's surrounding them. You align with them, and you two stand together if that is what you are destined to do. Remember, destiny and fate are now colliding with our timeline, and so if you are prepared, then you will go very quickly through this accelerated program, if you will, and you're going to do quite well. But this karmic blast that's coming is super important on how you react to what is said about you, what comes towards you. And there may be a little bit of drama attached to it, because some of us need to understand that when we focus our energy, like Aaron said, on a negative aspect, on the corruption or on that stuff, then we live for that experience. We are investing our time, like Natalie, we are investing our money, if you will, cosmically, into experiencing more of that. And so though most of us are leading, remember the task. We don't stoop into the darkness. That is not what our vibration does. We lead people out of the darkness, and we do it in a way that protects them. The only time we jump down, or we, what is it, bird's eye dive, is if we see an innocent party, like someone that is handicapped, or someone that is under a siege, a bully situation, or someone that's a child, or someone that's being raped, or it's women's rights or gay rights. Then the warrior in you comes out, and you go in, and you get that, you know what I mean? But you don't do it in a way that's aggressive. I'm talking about in an energetic way, and then that becomes something that is worth your time. But understand that if it's somebody just talking about you, it does not matter. It's up to the other person to understand that what is being said about you, the people that are listening, it's their test. If they believe in it, then they invest in that experience, and they miss out on you. You're the prize. You are the prize. Now, as we come into these unions, the one thing I'm supposed to tell, I mean, this is a really powerful download. One of the things I'm supposed to say is, when you come into your partnerships, understand that you are opposites in a lot of situations, or you're going to be made for each other. Now, here's the caution on this. You guys have been longing for each other's energy since time immemorial. When you come together, be cautious of the fact that you are going to want to mate like bunnies, like just bounce over and over again, and that's a reward. But remember in that movie, what was it, Breaking Bad, by the Stephanie Meyer series, with the Twilight, and it's talking about how when Bella and Edward, I know that the God people are going to get all weird about me using a vampire reference, but guys, come on, it's romantic, all right? Let it go. On this, pick your battles. This is not where we're going to fight about it, but when Edward and Bella when Bella becomes a vampire, and that first night that they have intercourse, hello, it was like, and one of the things that Edward tells Bella, I totally relate to this movie. The one thing that Edward tells Bella is that, yeah, when Emmett and when Rosalie got together, we couldn't be around them for a solid decade. Okay. That's the kind of passion that you guys are going to have. Even if it's just friendship, it's going to be like inseparable. And understand that the friendships they're not going to change the world around you necessarily. They will point out, by the way, that's the other thing. It's going to point out people that are no longer in your alignment. That's fine. But your best friends, it's just like some of you are going from 2 to 3. I just want to put it that way. Or some of you are going from 3 to 4, and that's it. Like whatever your tribe is now forming wholly. And so someone might have to, there might be a sacrifice in some degree. I don't know. I didn't ask the details because all of you have different scenarios. But the point is that when you are coming together, even in friendship, it will be inseparable 3. It'll be inseparable 4. It'll be inseparable 2. It just has to do with the first kind of dance that you guys have to do, because the incoming is super powerful to the dynamic. It's a missing piece is how I'm being told, right? You are a missing piece to a puzzle that is involving other people, and their team will not be complete and they will be able to move. Okay, having said that, the 2, that if you are in a sexual dynamic or there's any type of true connection, understand that you're going to be like bunnies, or you're going to want to have that drive to be like a bunny. What they recommended for me, because I'm in heat, and I guess so is my partner, so we're both in heat, is to be cautious of the fact that we also have a task to do. The blessing that we are being given is undying love and a connection that's unlike any other, but understand that you're still leaders and you still have to do your task. And so that's why, like, one of the things that I was given was, I'll just be aware that this person and you are going to be like this. And so just don't lose your identity because you have a separate task than this person does, but you work in tandem. It's like, and so there's probably going to be some sort of the friendships are all going to be like intertwined, but everybody has different focal points. Okay, so with that, understand that you're also getting their karma essentially around you. Now, for those of you who walk in divine light, understand everyone has karma. It is not something that you should be afraid of. If you get in your head about this, you're going to screw this up. It's never going to be the perfect time. It's never going to be the perfect situation. It's never going to be that, because it's 2 energies coming together. So let it play. Be courageous and do what you need to do in order to accomplish your goals. But don't let other people or other situations take away from the fact that you still the karma is still going to be present. So you're just trying to align yourself with the right vibration. You're trying to align yourself with something grander, and you're trying to align yourself with the truest of expression of friendship and love. So it should be no headspace to this at this point. The karma that you guys are both attracting to each other is at the same vibration. So do not fear the karma, because again, if you invest in fear, then fear follows you. Do not invest in what they're afraid of. Do not invest in what they're attacking you on. Invest in the solution. Invest in the reward. Invest in the abundance. Invest in your leadership skills. Invest into your worth. Invest into who you've become. Invest into the power that you hold in you. And that will grow and grow and grow and grow. But if you drop your vibration and invest in all of what they are saying, what they're trying to do to you, that they're bullying or whatever it is, do not invest in it, because then you just breed more of it. You are divine warriors. You are tasked now to be leaders, and of the leaders there are leaders. And that's one of the things that I've been working with the turquoise, trying to get this turquoise thing. But I'm specifically attracted to one particular person that I just think would be incredible to work with. And so I'm waiting for that connection. But here's the thing. I'm also actively still doing what I need to do, and I'm doing my downloads in a way that brings unity. Notice that I didn't say anything negative about anybody. Notice I'm not talking to anybody in a warlike manner, even though we can be in one. But I look at this in this way. I am divinely protected because God told me so. And if I trust that, then I will always be safe. You may think that's naive, but then what does that say to you about your level of commitment and where your loyalty lies? But see, notice I'm not trying to pick a fight. I'm pointing out to you that you will be safe with each other if you believe it. Some of us are not necessarily, I don't know if it's, I know it's not me, but I don't know exactly who it is. But some people are in their head right now trying to make these things happen perfectly. You're the perfection. They are the perfection. The dance that you're making is love. It's whether it's friendship or divine union, however you're coming together. So understand it's not going to be perfect. It's going to be a little awkward at times, and you're going to be inseparable. But if you don't take the risk, then you miss this. And this does not come back around as far as the dynamic relationships. Because now we are having a third energy that is very present, that is manipulating people around us. And what they're doing is they're making us react to what they're doing. And by doing that, it drops our vibration. And that makes us more susceptible to the energy of the double energy. So as this shock wave comes out through us, through the collective, just monitor what the severity is around you, and then ask yourself, was there ever a question that you had with this energy or this person, and how do you move away from it? Because I'm in a very vulnerable situation too, just so you guys know, in where I live. But the dynamic that I have with it is that until the destiny meets itself, I'm being tested on how I do not react to them, but how I hold my own space. If it's disrespectful, then I respectfully defend my honor and my integrity. But that doesn't mean I get into the lower vibrational squabbles and all that stuff that's going on. I don't allow the noise to bother me. It's just a test, guys. The more you invest in that, and the woe is me, or the fact that you just can't seem to get a break, then you never get the break. But do what I do. Spend all of your time posting and producing positivity towards the people that you are helping or that you're reaching. It's not going to be the most powerful people on this planet. Sometimes are not known to the outer world, but they are in partnerships or in alliances with people who are the forefront. Having said that, some of the people that were in the background, that were leaders in energy and so forth, are now being brought forward, and it's going to be pretty dramatic. There's something that can be very, very salacious about these couples that are coming together. And so they're going to attract gossip because it's the easiest thing to manipulate each other. Here's the thing. When you guys come together, you intuitively should be a divine being and understand that your energy will tell you if the person is being honest. If you are coming into these unions, guys, do not lie to each other, because if you do, the party, one of them, whoever one that senses the intuitive quality the most, will know it's a lie and immediately will shut it down. This is just about being yourself. It's a reward for your warts and all. It's the divine's love saying to you, this person will love you even if you're a little bit egoish. They will love you if you're a little bit, passive. They will love you even if you have issues where you think your hair is not pretty enough or your skin's not pretty enough. Or they're your partner. And what you guys are about to do is going to unite the world. So in that way, ensure that you're looking at this from the right stance, and ensure what you're doing is of divine love. Understand that the manipulative qualities will be where you'll suddenly realize who this person is to you, and the fact that all of these people spoke shit about that person will suddenly trigger you into going, you almost made me lose my happiness. You almost made me lose my thing. And then you realize you can't say that. It was always up to you to see the value of the other person. But that doesn't mean that the other person is going to come across all egoish if you finally make that, if you ever reach out to them and you say, hey, you want to go for coffee? Or you want to go, do you want to talk? Do you want to work together? Do you want to, the other person's going to go, yep. That's it. Do not stay in your head, is what I'm being told. The download was very specific. They said a lot of us are in our head. We're thinking with our ego, or or the V or the D. Bounce, well. And so we're trying to make things perfect, not forgetting the fact that we also are here as business and friendship partners if you're in these divine unions, or your best friends. And so you still have businesses to grow and all that stuff. And so your energies are being just... Having said all that, the reason that I was told this is because a lot of you are apparently now experiencing sleepless nights because the timelines are colliding. It is up to the individuals to finally cross this bridge because it's time, but it won't be divine timing until the people decide that it's time. So instead of being in your head about it, do it. Because you're both, there's no reason for either one of you in the duos or in trios or whatever it is to be alone anymore. You have the opportunity to now be with your mates and your friends and your soul tribes. But you have to make the effort, especially if one of you has already reached out and the other one Just let it go. Okay, it's over. We have to let go of the past experience and start again. Isn't that wonderful? It's a ticket to our future. And it starts with you being present. And so present yourself as you, and the other person will honor that. And you can form into the families that you are meant to be. So remember, guys, let go of the jealousy. No one's better than anybody else. If we're going to do a hierarchy to this whole situation, it's the divine, whatever you call it, architect, God, Allah, whatever you want to call it, the archangels, the angels, and then the rest of us, okay? And so there's nothing that you should be coveting. When you covet, you are breaking your own commandments. If you are in the holy houses, if you are in the occult, you are supposed to be about nature, about life, and about the betterment of humanity. You are a human being, and that you are here as helping humanity raise its vibration. If you are an esoteric theosophy, you have your own masters and elders that are returning, and they're going to teach and they're going to lead. So stick to what you all know and follow that path. Stop listening to other people and make your judgments according to what you need to have for your life, and understand that even though other people have karma, if they're at your vibration, you need to trust their honesty, but you have to check them out. But you can't do that if someone has a false mask. Some of the people here have things that have not happened yet, or that have not been dismantled. That is not your task, but be aware that if you're coming at that person and there's a falsity, then they may read it. So instead of everybody being like a little bit weary of each other, why not just give each other the benefit of the doubt that you will arrive with honesty and humility, and that the other party will be receptive to it. Remember, these are your divine best friends, your divine partners. These are your soul tribes, and they are given to you by the divine because you're about to change the world. Your vibration is everything. But don't let other people talk you out of it. Don't get petty. The pettiness is what's really driving the energy down. It's time for us to step into our role models positions. We are role models now. And so it's important for us to have each other so that we don't feel overwhelmed, because we're not. If you think about it, it's a game. It's a game where two different sides are playing at trying to help or deviate humanity. But the thing about it is, if you have the love and the passion that goes with life and who you are meant to be, then it's not a game. It becomes your blessing. But you have to see the challenge as an opportunity. And so you need sometimes the other person to come in and go, to make a joke at inappropriate times, or to be a little witty at times, or to kind of call you on your shit, but in a way that makes you know that they don't mean anything negative to you. They're just reminding you that we lead the people. We are leading people. And so if we can't relate to them on all scales, then it's always important to trust that the other party brings something to the table that makes it more amicable for the people to receive the data. Everyone is gifted. Use your gifts wisely and honor each other. But it's time. It's time to really, really get into this. And I hope you guys really receive this message well. That's my weekend update for you guys. I might have another one later. I don't know. The downloads come whenever they need to. But remember, karmically speaking, you do not always have to respond to people. You don't have to attack someone who's attacked you on an energetic level, because energy carries a karmic signature. It can go right back to the person, and you will see it hit, and it will be pretty big. And just think, I didn't have to do anything, because that lowers my vibration. I didn't have to say anything. Literally, my guides went, oh, hail to the no. And they took care of it. Because you have to trust who you believe in. You have to if you believe in the archangels, I walk with I'm the Gabriel to someone's Michael. Trust me, when I need something like that, I just in my head pull the reference of what I believe Michael to be about, and then I speak to that and try to get wisdom from that energy from the divine. But that's not the only way to do it. But I'm telling you, you are connected to something greater. You must have this connection 100% solid. So you can't always run around questioning it. If you do, meaning in other people, you just see what I'm saying? You need to be solid in you. But understand that one of the hardest lessons that we're facing right now is that not everybody gets to go, right? More importantly, some of the people that we thought were our best friends are the snakes in the grass. They are jealous of something that you don't even understand why they're jealous of it, because your energy is so high that people don't, that you can't see why anybody would be jealous of you. Some of us are really sweet and very humble, and that's the jealousy part, and that's what they downloaded to me. I am really, I come across really pure because I'm a pure soul, but I've had to go through the fire. You see what I'm saying? And the way that this came about is I was sent a dream after this, which was I was walking down the steps in my house and there was a fire. And my lower vibration immediately jumped up and go, oh my God, something bad's going to happen. And then my higher vibration, my brain and the divine very clearly said, or there is a fire burning now in your home, meaning maybe you have ignited the passion within. After all, home is where you are. That was a big lesson. So you see what I'm saying? If you spend your time looking at things in negativity or in a lower vibration, then things trigger you that were meant to uplift you.